I worked 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. today. And by today, I mean yesterday. Ooh. Oh, it's not invincible. I thought it was. It's pretty fast. They might have some invincibility. Oh, he started to have the right read. That was just going to be canceled to a super from Akuma anyway. It was better to get all the parries so Akuma actually had to use the bar. But, like, the best thing 12 could have done was parry, like, the initial normal, then 2 hits of the DP, and then immediately throw. And then if Akuma canceled the super, um, he would have gotten thrown out of it. That being said, because you can't throw post-freeze and still have it work, I don't think, in that case. But that being said, if it was just DP, then the third hit of DP would have hit him if there was no super cancel. So maybe just a series of parries was the right play. There was nothing good to do there. Akuma's full of situations like that, where there's no good parry to like get you really out of the scenario. A lot of characters in this game can actually do that, more than you would think. People always talk about like, oh, well, if they just get the right parry, they can just win regardless of how well I play. But like, there are some situations where you'll reasonably never ever get parried. I think in all the time I've ever played Third Strike, only a couple times ever have I gotten parried from the instant air stomps to close out a round. Sometimes I fuck it up other ways, but rarely does it get parried. Whoa. Oh, that was the kill combo. I don't know. That's like the thing I noticed actually. Mexicans do play Akuma. Mexicans like edgy characters. Eat cool anti-air. Is it like how black people play Magneto? Ooh. It's definitely Akuma's one of the more KO-ish kind of characters in terms of like edginess. Ooh. Oh, that's gonna work maybe. Nope. Enough of the dash resolved. Fucking punished with overhead. He could have died for that. Surprised that was still a punish. That team was pretty unsafe, but you know. Overhead is not fast. The neutral in this matchup is all fucked. But again, Akuma, or rather Hugo only needs a few hits. So it's a lot more fair than you might think. Considering how dominant Akuma is in neutral, it ends up only being like a 7-3, which is still not great, or maybe even a 6-4. It's definitely in Akuma's favor, but it's nowhere near as stacked as you would probably think, judging by how like much control Akuma has all the time. Maybe look at the number of times they both get hit. Third strike is a cut the Gordian knot the game. None of the shadows have exactly the same frame data. Unlike anything, I don't think. They all have like really subtle differences. That parry. That drill is it's kind of ingeniously designed. Ooh, this kills. They did a good job making the drill very reactable, but not weak to parries. And not super dangerous besides. Ken's normals are pretty fair until he fucking links Shippu. Ryu's normals are definitely fair. I usually just if I've got down charge, I can uppercut the drill and it wins clean, or as light Oniyama. Ooh, very nice. This kills. Oh, he dropped it! That would have been stunned. Even if it was jab, it would have been stunned. You can parry it, and you can get a normal between your parries. It's very easy to parry once and then hit a light normal. But depending on the height that you parry it, and depending on which version of the drill it is, the two hits will be either really far apart or really close together. And you just need to have a lot of matchup knowledge on Necro. And even if you get both parries, Necro might be really close to the ground by the end of it. Or he might land between the two hits. In which case, obviously, you don't have two parries available. You can red parry the second hit of Light Tornado Hook. But I think he's minus even after you block it, and he's certainly not very close to you. So you can do a parry afterwards if you want. But red parrying the second hit, like, is reactable and a consistent timing. So that's like the best answer. And you get a full punish on him. So it's very rewarding to go for. And it's not super risky, because he's probably not just super canceling immediately. Ooh. The red parry is the counter. Just learn that. It's not super duper hard, and it's certainly like low risk, high reward. This could still go either way. No, the time is too low, I think. He had good position there for a bit, though. And a lot of meter. Necro's mix-up when he's got you cornered is pretty scary, because he can still turn it into stun. Oh! Missed. It doesn't matter whether he opens you up low or throw. He gets a lot of stun either way. Very nice. I don't know, it's minus enough to punish, but most characters can't punish it to my knowledge. Aura definitely can't. Plus. After I block one, I think I usually take the opportunity to hold up and then tap up forward if I feel like it. For a little double jump escape, but that's a very Aura specific thing to do. Could again still go either way. Ooh. Now this is looking really hard. He's probably looking for a Sonic Boom to parry. Not ready for the cold blue kick. Necro is usually pretty good against Remy, but not amazing. But that stun output matters a lot. And Necro does have decent mobility. He doesn't have good speed. Like, the directions he can move are useful. But he can't do it super fast. Interesting character design. Ooh. That was a mix-up when he got that parry. Yeah, Remy is definitely really hard compared to his tier. Unfortunate situation. 12 is a bit too, but not as much. No character in this game is truly easy though. All the characters have a pretty high ceiling even before the parries. People like mentioning that about Ken, but like, you know, there's double DPs as well. Yang is easy-ish. Yang has like weird optimization stuff. But if you're just gonna play like fucking stand strong versus low forward into EX Rekka, or command grab into close medium kick into jump hard kick, that's all pretty easy. Command grab low forward EX Rekka. There's nothing hard about any of that. I always do it with. I used to have trouble doing it, but now I only do the double punch with the first one, and I'm a lot better at it. You can lose a hit though, depending on range and opponent's character. You can get like one of the hits to whiff, but the whole thing to still work. He had a kill there. Medium kick probably would have hit if he hit it sooner. Super would have hit. He might have had another DP as well. Nice. Ooh. Makoto can just get you on the rhythm sometimes. There's no way for Makoto to turn a low into Super 2. I was mentioning that recently at the 1. Makoto gets really good damage out of a throw and really good damage out of a low with SA1. Oh, unfortunate. Ugh, unfortunate. Why didn't he fucking parry the last hit? Yeah, I think Super 1 is underrated. I don't know if I'd say Super 2 is overrated. They're both really nasty. But Super 1 is like usually as good if not better than Super 2 in like a ton of matchups. And the fact that she becomes so much more unpredictable when both sides of her mix up lead to Super. It's a lot easier to get Karakusas if you're a Super 1 Mac versus a Super 2 Mac. People avoid them like the plague against Super 2 Mac. Wow. That car throw was huge. Chun-Li failed to confirm, or maybe chose not to. If she's really trying to win without using a super, but like she's got 2 bars, she might as well. Maybe not at this point. That was parry into car throw. That might have been an SGGK. I went back a little too far. You can see it. Parry car throw. He goes for it a couple times. Like here. There. That might have been SGGK. That's what it looks like on whiff. Sin strong empty cancel super is actually pretty good for Chun-Li, but most people don't bother. Left forward does pretty much the same thing. Sin strong beats left parry though, and still confirms super. But then again, so does back fierce. Nice. That storage. Tommy. I don't know. I didn't know she had a setup that did that. The beauty of that little sequence is you can parry high twice. Since the first hit doesn't come into the second, you can still get the high parry. Even if you got opened up by the left short. But no one ever does that. There's like little things about fighting Makoto where people are not super optimized about it. Chose not to super. Very clearly had the opportunity. Trying to hoard his meter and it worked. Kind of scary against Tomi, but he kept good screen position, so it wasn't super risky. Ooh. Ah, that was Harakusa from Tominaga, but Chun-Li grabbed her first. It was like outside Chun-Li's throw range, I think, so I think it might have been a car throw. Ooh. Could have been super cancelled from that jab. Ooh, there we go. Crouch jab, super cancel is actually really hard to do. It's not really hard, but it's like annoying. You really don't have much time for that cancel. Chun-Li's crouch jab is really fucking fast. Ooh, the red, that was nice. Chun-Li's shrug backdash. Roll forward that didn't lead to anything. Interrupted, there you go. That's some anti-Makoto stuff right there. Fuck your combo, this might kill. Yup. Yurian. We see so much Tominaga, and he's so consistent at something that's so hard that it's easy to forget that there are other incredible Makotos we never see. Tomi is legitimately extremely good. Nice combo. Really nice. I used to think combos like that were super crazy hard, but actually now I understand them, they're not too bad. Because it's charge move into charge move into charge move, he's continuously resetting his charge partitioning timer, which means there's no randomness and not too much difficulty to getting the charges. Does Urian? I think Urian gets crouch fierce there, doesn't he? On a block dash punch? Or maybe not. He didn't go for it. Urian's crouch fierce has a bit more range than Aura's launcher, but it's a lot slower. It's like 12 frames instead of 5. 10 frames instead of 5, I think. That throw didn't work! Oh, it's over. Tommy's a madman. Damn, it's great to be Oro. Oro gets it on a block dash punch, but it's hard. You gotta do a micro walk. Medium kick always works though, so I usually just do that. Kuroda Urian? I don't remember there being anything especially cool about that one. Kuroda's a great player, but his Urian I think was just playing the parry game. Kuroda Hugo, Kuroda Q, those ones were really good. I want to put on a Kuroda DVD. Kuroda Oro I think I already watched on stream one time. It's like 2 hours long, it's pretty long. But it's like before he leveled up his Oro. All the Kuroda DVDs are actually somewhat old at this point. They came out in like 2010. Kuroda Hugo is one of the better ones. I think his Ibuki one was kind of neat too. I was in the middle of watching this one. Look at that shitty fucking... He plays every character in the Kuroda DVDs like he's playing Hugo. Yes, I did. Hello. Yeah, Wiggie's normals are great. The stand jab in particular, far jab, is the god normal. It's like one of the single best normals in the entire game. Very low commit, especially from far away. A lot plus frames up the ass. A little TC she can convert from it if you really want to. But really it's more about the control. Suck probably not. Turtle footsie Yun probably yes. Coretta plays a very, very passive game with every character he plays. Or in the DVDs anyway. He's definitely not as passive with his counter as Akuma nowadays. Or in the more modern footage anyway. That's pretty ballsy. I remember seeing Oro Yun 5-5, which I'm pretty sure no Oro would have said. I think it could be true. But it's like on some level that no one's hit. The more I played, the more I thought that Crota's list might not be bullshit. Though there's a couple things on it I just roll my eyes at though. I think he had Chun-Li 6-4 over Yun, which is like the opposite of every single fucking tournament. That's like one that's been studied very intensely by a lot of people. It probably is not as good for Yun as most people think. Really old tier lists put it 7-3 in Yun's favor, and it's almost certainly closer to 5-5 than 7-3. But saying it's in Chun-Li's favor is just like, that's way off. Fucking conventional tier lists. And for like the most played matchup in fucking tournaments. The most played matchup in tournaments is probably fucking Ken or something. But he had that whole thing about how Ken actually did the best against Chun-Li of any character, even though he still lost to Chun-Li. He was playing MOV all the time, so of course he thinks Chun-Li beats everyone. MOV is the best Chun-Li in the universe. Ooh. It's crazy looking at just how much he blocks. How hard it is to hurt him. It's like if you dash in and throw, he'll tech it. And if you do literally anything else, he'll just block. Or like stop you from getting all the way in if he'll walk in. He's just like so hard to hurt. The red. One low block into high red parry. Cool strat. Very good reply to a lot of reused pressure. Ken's as well, more typically. Nice, he baited a Tatsu. Parrying has no commitment. You can shift back to blocking anytime you want to. He probably could have been thrown there if he went for a throw, but I think he blocked a hit of super first before we even fully got in. So maybe not throwable. That was a failed red parry. That was probably also a failed red parry, although it's hard to say. He's playing this hella well. Greta does that thing where he does like, he plays really weird and he kind of locks you into his weird play. You can see that a lot at low level, and you can actually still see it even at the high level. Players will kind of create like a mini fighting game within the fighting game with some unusual rules. Hard to explain. Super 2. I think at the highest level this probably is the correct super for Hugo. Dudley is probably number 1. Dudley always bounces off, I shouldn't say always, but almost always bounces off one time from a hard super, which means you can use, the hard super is the easiest one to get unblockables off of. Other easy characters are Necro, Alex, and 12. There might be a couple more. There's a lot of characters where the unblockables are easy, but like Q, but you can't get unblockables if they're cornered. Makoto's quite easy, but the problem is you have to use the light super on Makoto because she takes so long to wake up. And because she bounces twice off of the medium and heavy super. Which means you need a lot of screen position to work with, and you need to do a very specific dash setup. I usually do forward dash times forward dash once, very, very brief pause, forward dash 3 times, then neutral jump, double jump immediately. That kind of double jump. That's what Hugo Super 2 counters. Oro can't really hit below him immediately after his double jump. Like, yeah, he can hit jump medium kick, but like his momentum is all wrong to really land on Hugo as he's supering. So his air normal will whiff. Everyone does. I think. If it's not everyone, it's at least 90% of characters in this game. Or does Oro take even more than most characters? I don't know. Weird little quirk. It's not universal. Even fucking standing block stun is not universal. That doesn't affect a whole lot in the game. If it meant that Alex could get, like, stay medium kick into medium chop, that'd be pretty scary, but it doesn't. After I blocked uppercut. Most of Universal Over had been easy on Oro. I shouldn't say most, but, like, that's also partially due to just how low he crouches. Chun-Li has the same thing, and so does Elena. Characters who crouch lower, the universal overhead takes longer to hit. It also makes the universal overhead easier to block, though. It makes it more reactable. Interesting punish. Surprised he was ready for that. It's not common at all to block an Oniyama, to be honest. Ooh. It definitely changes meters a bit. It makes Chun-Li stronger. Chun-Li's at her weakest right at the start when she's got no bar. Once she's got even a single meter, she can use that to mix you up and get more meters more easily. because you don't want to eat low forward. If I lose round 1 against Chun-Li, it's so much harder than if I don't. Three hits. Ooh, the red. Low block, red parry. You went for it there too? He reacts so fast. People just dash in on him and he throws them before they can even throw him. Maybe Pyro wins round 1 and then the game 90% of the time. Holy fuck. He really just buffered that 720 in that normal. Under the premise that Ken would dash in after it. Granted, that's not an uncommon time to dash in. But the fact that he could be buffering 720 everywhere there, that was so fast. He might not have buffered it, but it takes quite a while to do. It takes like 8 frames to do a fucking instant 720. It's not very hard. This is probably the game with the easiest Tachigigas of any fighting game. Of any Street Fighter. Nice. Neutral throw. You get your corner carry on that, but it being a mash show kind of sucks. Red parry into nothing. Oh my god, the reads. Nice. Parrying cross-ups is harder than it looks because you can't parry early. So that cross-up parry probably had like 3 or 4 frames instead of the usual 8 or 9 or 10. There's special rules about parry timing when you're parrying a jump in. I forget what it is. Most characters with a command grab. That's a bit strong. I mean, technically Oro has a command grab. Maybe you count as fucking Super 1. This game has 19 characters and you got like 4 with a command grab. I don't know if I'd count command grabs on characters with supers that no one picks. SF5 has a shit ton of command grabs. You've got like 30 some characters and you've got an ass ton of command grabs. Thought it was double. I'm just saying, I don't think Oro would be a grappler in 99% of the times that you watch this game. I can't remember the last time I played a fucking Super 1 Oro. And I'm one of the only Oros I know who memes it up with Super 1. Oof. Very nice. Yeah, Demon. Demon's a command grab. That one's a lot more legitimately a command grab than, like, Necro. Since Necro never picks the super anyway, and you can just jump out of it, he tries to use it like a grab anyway. He has to use it like a punish or a fucking counter hit setup. Or, like, just mix up off of the forced jump. I mean, it is still a command grab even if it sucks, but the thing about the choosable supers in particular is that if you don't choose the super, you don't have the command grab. You literally, it's literally not even a thing you can do. And also, in competitive, literally no one picks those three supers. Necro, Buki, and Oro. Oh. I literally see, like, Sean more often than I see SA1 Oro. Yeah, most supers are not a bad option after parry. That's the trick. Is you see stuff like Alex Super 1, it's like, well, it's good after a parry, but then you remember that Alex Super 2 is good after a parry. And in fact, I'm pretty sure that Alex medium kick into Super 2 does more damage than fucking raw Super 1. Or it's pretty close anyway. Crush jab. I literally never hit that normal. Yes, clap. Nothing. He had a guaranteed jump over there he could have done. After a parry, Alex Super 2 is usually pretty reliable. Although it depends on what you're trying to do. Unless you're parrying like a max range like Ken Stemranos or something and then doing raw Super 2, they're probably going to be close enough. Secretly meta. No. There's like one character where I think it might not be utterly shitty. Yeah, it's Denjin, except you can't fucking land it off of anything. It's Denjin, except instead of always having a 50-50 to make it work, you never have a 50-50 to make it work. There's no guess. You can just hit Alex. Every single character in the game can just hit Alex. Even Hugo, with his fucking complete lack of anti-air normals, can still do a light shoot down backbreaker on reaction to the super freeze. Even if he was already in block stun. Makoto Super 3 I would actually buy as being more secretly meta. The main problem with that super is that our other two supers are way better. But Makoto Super 3 is actually a lot better than you would probably think. But it still opens you up to really shitty stuff. It opens you up to garbage mix-ups that most characters wouldn't have to deal with. Like, if you get lightning legs when you're in Super 3, what are you going to do? Sit there and parry 100 times until your fucking super goes away? You can't block it. It would be quite good if she could block. But it wouldn't be way better because the idea with Super 3 is that you're never even in that situation anyway. You just have to make the fucking... You have to never let it be the opponent's turn. Which Makoto is actually quite good at. If your Super 2 gives... I mean, if your Super 3 gives you like a dash punch, then you immediately have either a Karakusa or another dash punch. Or a parry of a DP or something like that. So if you're right enough, you can just... And of course, command grab and whatever a low or whatever button then lead to dash punch. So you can just get a shit ton of... And it only takes like 3 of those once your super's activated to just kill someone. So it's definitely like a luck-based super. It's not like she just instantly dies if she like drops it either. She's just in super and she can't block for a bit, but you can still maybe avoid stuff. Or parry. But things could definitely be a lot worse. Not going for the cross-up at all. Yin gets decent damage from this. He's playing it super duper safe, which I appreciate. Ooh. If he gets another knockdown, it'll probably just kill. But even if it doesn't, he has Sayambu again. I think Super 3 is pretty good here. Oh no. Cross-up dive kick would have been nice, but Kuroda might have gotten the parry. The TC, the instant overhead. This Yang's playing the matchup well. Ghetto unblockables aren't legit. What's wrong with them? There's a lot of real setups into that. And it's not too hard to land in footsies either. I mean, you can get hit mid-air. I rarely see it get parried. Or those fireball unblockables are really hard to parry out of. Whew. It's just the quick stand helps you escape. But if you're cornered, quick stand won't even help you against Sambu. Yes, there's an audio desync. It's not super bad. I've like adjusted to it, but it's there. could have been cancelled to something. There are only a few parries I would truly call easy in this game. Parrying a jump in air normal on a character who can't alter the jump arc is fairly easy. Parrying a fireball from anywhere above half screen is extremely easy. Parrying the last hit of Chun-Li super or Makoto super is quite easy, albeit somewhat scary. Those are the supers, those are the things I would call the easiest parries. Doing a wake-up parry is extremely easy, provided the opponent actually hits you on your first frame of wake-up, which most meaties do. Parries get a lot more technical after those ones. Even air parries are kind of hard. There's so many things to be ready for if you like jump over Ken. Wow. That was a very, very good read, and then a very good follow-up. Parrying to 720 is actually pretty hard. You gotta buffer that shit pretty fast. Obviously it's easier than a Tachigigas because you can parry during the... you can spin during the parry stun. But it's not like it's free. You still gotta spin pretty quick. Ooh. Tachigigas. Tachi means stand. Or in this case, standing. Parries gave you life back. That's Garo. Ugh. That's what it stands for? Hugo's got a couple buttons that are really good against Aura's Fireball like that. It's easier to do that than you would think. It's not free, but it's like very attainable in a match to like counterpoke Aura's Fireball. The Fireball still comes out, but you outdamage him. And he doesn't get any setups or anything. Stand jab works like that. Low short, I guess. Stand strong. Good lord. Fuck your jump, here's my super 2. You can see how he's controlling this guy super well. Yeah, Crota's long sets are always fucking... A lot of footage of Crota's first to 3 for whatever reason. This could actually lead to something. He didn't do the right setup. He had to ironically do like a Crota style setup. The easiest way he could have turned that into something quite good was stand strong 2 hits into stand strong 1 hit into super. And then he could have gotten a real unblockable. And then from there you could have done some stuff. You could have looped that a little bit. Taking the opportunity to top. You don't see that as a air Tatsu fallout very often. The angle meant he didn't have a DP or Fierce. Akuma has all these specials that are almost as good as EX moves, but are free. I say the idea. But I think he had an execution error. It seems like they wanted to add those to SF5 with Season 4. The ability to poke through buttons. They added a few of those. I think it was mostly for characters like Laura and maybe Sakura as well. Characters who can charge a fireball. Guile. Probably Laura and Guile are the main two. And then Sakura is icing on the cake. There are a lot of characters who can just kind of put a fireball up and then hide behind it. And then it's kind of hard to do anything. Like Guile, it's hard to, like, a lot of characters aren't really good at, if he does V-skill into, like, boom, a lot of characters aren't really good at hitting him through the V-skill. Like, a lot of characters can just sweep him, but some characters can't. Nice red. $720 already kills. It kills Akuma at like 75% to be honest. It does so fucking much. I looked through the 420 combo list and there only need to be like 10 or 15 more combos. There's a few I'm not really happy with. Like if you look at the Elena 2, both of them are pretty shitty. I could definitely find some better Elena ones. Elena still has the combo extension of hard Link's Tail, which is extremely useful when finding 420 combos. Because you can easily choose how many hits you get, which version you use, and it's plus frames as fuck, and you can use it 2 times per combo. So you got a lot of versatility there. Kihara, did you see the Dhalsim ones I just came up with? They're pretty good. I think you had a Dhalsim one. That one's pretty nice too. Oh yeah, technically not public, although everyone kind of casually talks about it anyway. Keep an eye out this April 12th, or 20th. The music video, I mean, well, yeah. The combo video itself needs to be hilarious. So I gotta take some tips on how to make it funnier. I think adjusted for other characters, Akuma only has like the equivalent of 930 health in this game, which is not super duper low. Or it might be like 870. It's not even as low as Street Fighter 4, where it was 850. Wow. How do you do it? Was it 700 or was it... I feel like it was 700. Was it 700 or 800? Or was it 750? I feel like it was 750. I don't remember. In Vanilla and Super he had fuck all health. He just died if you touched him. Akuma has less health than Twins and Ibuki. But it's not super way low. But even those guys have a lot less health than, like, Shotos. The song needs to be really funny, and I haven't decided what the song is going to be. I'd like if it was a song that didn't have, like, that wasn't copyright. So I could just make money off of it. Make my own weed song. The thing about Vanilla Seth is that he was like, even with that tiny, tiny amount of health, he was still balanced. Well, he wasn't even balanced, he was like upper end. He was like a higher top tier in that game. And he had a lot of really one-sided matchups, usually in his favor. That's pretty gross, but that's not even the grossest thing. The grossest thing was honestly just jump fierce. And teleport away, and jump off the wall. Just those three things, he could like out-turtle about half the cast. Then combined that he had pretty much all the stuff was like, yeah, that helps. Pretty much everything he had was, oh my god, how does he do it? I don't understand. I actually don't understand the mechanism going on that Kuroda's ready to 720 a dash in that early. I think he lost jump hard kick, or rather he conventionally lost jump hard kick. It still has the cross-up hitbox, but it's like the jank cross-up hitbox instead of the real cross-up hitbox. It's like you need a perfect angle. Now medium kick is like a lot easier. It's like Shoto's crossing up with jump fierce. Yeah. All the vanilla trials are just the same as the fucking super trials, except Gen's final one got a little bit easier, and there's way less of them. It's 5 per character. I've never even done a... I literally... Like, someone mentioned that recently, and I was like, what the fuck? I've never had a... I've done, like, some casual streams where I've, like, done the trials during the stream, but I've never had, like, a trial marathon for SF4. People didn't know how to fight Viper for a long time, but also people didn't know how to play Viper for a long time. I did all the Ultra characters when they came out. I did their trials. Good lord, that was his read. Parry the fireball into shoot down backbreaker. I guess if he didn't, if Urian didn't jump, he would have still gone out of the way of the mirror. I thought both worked. I think you can do both a ground or an air fire kick. The air one might not send the opponent to the right range. The ground one is very consistent. But the ground one's harder to do. Because you need that pre-super jump cancel. Oh. I did the ground one in vanilla, so I don't remember that it didn't work like that. Definitely in Super and Beyond it works either way. Super was such an upgrade from vanilla. I'm gonna click on this. It says Kuroda Oro versus Atsushi Ibuki Morikawa Goki Ike Dudley, or perhaps Ike. It's Ike, isn't it? Aiku. It's written IKE here. M-Ken TMQ Tokura Yang. It's Kuroda versus a hell of a lot of good players. I think that was Oro's weird car throw. Actually, that might have been his hard kick one. Car throws are really obnoxious for Ibuki to deal with because her throw range is already tiny. It's very easy to throw her from outside her throw range. Yeah, that was hard kick car throw, I think. Ooh. There's a toss in her. Car throw, car throw, car throw. Air throw. Overhead immediately. I'm used to seeing, whenever I see Raw activates like that, I'm used to seeing, what's his face? Thanatos do it. And he almost always does stand jab delayed crutch roundhouse. Which then the stones hit after the crutch roundhouse, which causes a launch. Pretty much every tier list ever has had some permutation of Yun Chun-Li, Ken Makoto Dudley is top 5. I think that if there was another one in the spot, I would probably put either Oro or Akuma. But it's a hard call. Dudley is really good. Ooh. Yeah. Unusual juggle. Stand roundhouse times 2 into stuff is max dizzy. Stand roundhouse into jump roundhouse is second highest dizzy. And it gives you better leg damage on your third hit. It's quite hard to do stand roundhouse, jump roundhouse though. That's why I usually do stand medium kick, jump roundhouse. A lot more reliable. It's pretty freeform. You can do a lot of stuff. Towards strong is particularly good at picking up bad combos, and stand roundhouse is particularly committal, which is why I usually see stand roundhouse with towards strong. You can't actually loop stand roundhouse, jump roundhouse, I think. They're just too low by the second rep. But it doesn't really matter what you do from the third hit onwards, because the scaling is like fucked the combo. Whoa. Oh, he fucked it up! That was literally a kill combo. Still got it. Dudley beats up Hugo. I think he also beats up Q. I don't know about most of the other low tiers. 12 I think is bad. I don't know about 12 actually. Woo. He got just the roundhouse for the combo he dropped and no stones hit. The stones reduce the throwback from his combos, and they also reset the juggle potential. So it's very important you get some stones to hit. Ooh, double teleport in the corner. Can't believe that worked. Surprised the first one worked since Kuroda did something low commit. Hi. There's a really prominent Alpha 3 Ryu player named Morikawa. And Morikawa is just a generic last name in Japanese, but I have to wonder if it's the same guy. Dud doesn't beat Alex. I don't know Dudley's matchups very well, except he bodies Hugo. I know Hugo's players consider it to be one of his worst matchups alongside Chun. It's like Chun-Li and then Dudley. Then a power gap and everyone else. And considering how many other characters beat Hugo, it's like Surprising people would be that consistent on why Dudley was really good. He did the low short TC instead of the low short super. Dudley's got such a strong set of normals. His special moves are good too. But good lord, if there's like a normal that does something useful, Dudley has it. What about Ken? Ooh, going for the loop. I must never do that. Really good. He could have killed with the uppercut, I think. Instead he chose to max meter build, which is probably better. I forget who it is, but somewhere between Dudley, Yang, and Akuma, there's a really one-sided matchup. But I forget who it is. I forget the pair. It might be Yang beating Akuma. It might be Akuma beating Yang. It might be Akuma beating Dudley. It might be Dudley beating Akuma. I just don't remember. I remember there's a weirdly bad matchup somewhere in that little trio. That's a unusual one. He didn't even follow it in. He's looking for the ducking, I guess. It's true for all fighting games. Dudley's ducking versus Akuma air fireballs is kind of nice, but I wouldn't think it'd be a matchup winner. Yang's dizzy up versus Akuma's low stun seems like it'd be very useful. Akuma might have really good neutral against Dudley, I don't know, fuck. People definitely agree on the bottom two more often than they agree on the top four. Ooh. Did you go for a cross up? Catch face super. EX fireball. Mix up. Mmm. People seem a little split on how good Alex is. People definitely seem a bit split on Q and Hugo. Whoa. I've seen tier lists that put Q and Hugo as high as high tier and as low as bottom two. Or not like just above bottom two, I mean. Like number 3 and number 4. People tend to always rate them pretty close to each other as well. Either they're both awful or they're both good. Whoa. There's like a fucking rock, paper, scissors going on there. Damn the sub. It's because of the way the characters work. People tend to overrate them or underrate them based on how their character does against those two. Because the same characters tend to do really well against them and really bad against them. I've seen people put Hugo above those three. I forget where Kuroda donked Q, but I think it was weirdly high. But I don't think it was super crazy high. I think it was mid-tier. I would agree with below Ryu. Super 2 versus Q. Q is so safe in the corner. That's like the best mix-up you can possibly get is instant overhead versus low. He got it there. Whoa. Is this the boss tier list? Oh, what a mess. Where's Oro? He's so low. Oh, they're not in any sort of order. Chun-Li Oro, 2-8. He agrees with the 2-8. Oro Makoto, 5-5. I agree. Oro Q, 5-5. Hell no. What the fuck? You ever played that matchup? That matchup's free. Oro's like Q's worst matchup. After Makoto. Oro 12, 6.5, 3.5. I would agree with that. Oro Remy, 6-4. I would maybe say 6.5, 3.5. Oro Sean, 6-4. I'd maybe give it 6.5, 3.5, or even 7.3. But that's hard to say because I haven't played that many Seans. Oro Alex 5-5. I'd call that in Oro's favor as well. Oro Ryu 5-5. I agree. Oro Ken 3-7. That's the classic rating. I think it's not that bad. I think it's probably like... No, that's worse than the classic rating. The classic rating's 4-6. I think it might be 5-5 or 4-6. Oh, this is Kuroda. This is Kuroda's list. Thanatos has like a way higher success rate against Kuroda than almost any other fucking player. But also, you know, Kuroda put all of Q's matchups as being really good. Or like not really good, but way higher than you would probably think. Oro Akuma 5-5. I'd say yes. Oro Yun 5-5. That one's weird as hell. That one's classically 3-7, but maybe he's right. Oro Yang 5-5. I'm gonna give it a tentative yes, but that one's definitely easier than Oro Yun, so I don't know. Oro Buki 5-5. That one's probably a little bit in Oro's favor, but probably not extreme. Oro Elena 5-5. That one's maybe right, but I think it might be in Elena's favor. The neutral is good for Elena there. Oro Necro 5-5. I think it's 6-4 or maybe 6.5, 3.5. Oro Hugo 5-5. I think that one could actually be right, but it's super weird. Classically, everyone would put that as heavily in Oro's favor, but it's actually not as bad as it looks. I would maybe say 6-4 Oro these days. It's definitely in Oro's favor, in my opinion. Oro Urian 5-5, I agree. Oro Dudley 5-5, I agree. I like these Oro matchups for the most part. There's like a couple that are really weird, though. Let's look at Q. Q Chun-Li 2-8, I agree. Q Makoto 4-6, that's usually listed as 2-8. Q12, 6-4, sure. Q Remy 6-4. That's usually listed as one of Remy's good matchups, but the damage output is so strange. Q Sean 6-4. Q Alex 5-5. Q Ryu 5-5. Okay. Q Ken 3-7. He thinks Q really gets fucked up by Ken. I think that's worse than the classic lists. But Ken is really good against Q, I agree. The air Tatsu is really strong. Q Akuma 5-5. I would never ever say that. That's like weird as fuck. That's like such a bad matchup in everyone's mind except Kuroda's. Q Yun 4-6, Q Yang 5-5, Q Ibuki 5-5, Q Elena 5-5, Q Oro 5-5, that's a really weird one. Q Necro 5-5, Q Hugo 5-5, Q Urian 4-6, Q Dudley 5-5. I would agree with like the whole second half of that. That's all fine. Hold on. Let me look at Oro list. Oro, he put him so high. He put Oro's totality as higher than Dudley's and Yang's. He put Oro number 5. I think I looked at this one on stream fairly recently. Oro Chun-Li 3-7, I'd maybe agree with that. Oro Ken 4-6, I would maybe agree with that. Oro Yun 4-6, I would agree with that. Oro Makoto 4-6, I think that's probably 5-5. 4-6 Oro, I think 5-5, but maybe in Yang's favor. 4-6 Oro Yang, I mean. 5-5 Dudley, I agree. 6-4 Oro Goki, I agree. Maybe. Oro Urian 5-5, Oro Ryu 5-5. Elena 6-4. Oro wins in his list. Oro Necro 6.5, I agree. Ibuki 6.5, maybe. 6 versus Alex, sure. 7 versus 12, okay. 7 versus Remy, okay. 7 versus Sean, okay. 7 versus Hugo, okay. 8 versus Q, okay. I generally like that list. That's like within 1 point of what I'd put it for every single one of those. Who's boss play? Yun and Makoto. I kind of want to see those two. Nothing really jumping out at me about Yun. He put him as listing winning every single matchup except Chun-Li and Ken. Yun losing to Ken is kind of weird. I mean, losing to Chun-Li is kind of weird. But that's like the Kuroda tier list did the same thing. Un is like thinking. Konna mon kana. I don't know what the fuck that is. The symbols are usually used like really good, like kind of good, not sure, and bad. He put not sure for Hugo and Q, even though they're at the bottom of the list. Even though they have the worst totality of matchups, he put them as not sure, even though every other character above them is like X's. You can really see Hugo and Q getting fucked by their matchups in this tier list. I could buy Q having the worst matchups in the game despite being an okay character. That's like it sounds like it cancels out. I mean, I don't know. I think those two things are inherently linked. It's just Third Strike allows you to kind of beat the character with superior skill despite the matchup. It's like it doesn't matter if your character gets fucked by Chun-Li if you're good enough at anti-Chun-Li stuff. Like if you're good enough at not getting, if you can do the Daigo parry, then you don't have to worry about getting chipped out by Chun-Li, for example. That's like a quirk of Third Strike, though. And also, it's true the other way. That's the trick. It's like not only could it be a crazy hard matchup, but the person who's playing the high tier could have really good knowledge of fighting the low tier. Like the matchup we just saw. I think those are components of character strength, though. And also they're components of matchups. Super 2 versus Yang. Kuroda was one of the first players who really kind of popularized that idea. Super 2 is not usually seen as being good at all against Yang. Nowadays it's like, well, it could work. If you're Kuroda. That's true. Ooh. That's probably... he thought he had meter to super cancel. But he barely didn't. That's for sure what happened there. Taking that throw was pretty scary. Oh, it ended. Oh, the Third Strike Olympic Games is on here. Should I watch that? It's such a weird little video. When does it start? Is this the... Okay, he's checking how long it takes to go 2,000 blocks. If you do it as fast as possible. This is such a weird little video. It's every character's like fastest possible movement. I think Yang ended up being the fastest by far. Time doesn't pass during the Raging Demon, and it's faster than his walking. Goes farther than his dash. Chun-Li ends with a Super 2, I think. Yup, it's a car Super 2. Just a bunch of dashes. Elena's ends with a Super 2. Not too bad. Guess in the recovery of the dash into EX dash punch. Surprised that's faster. 271. You'd think Makoto would do it a lot quicker. 219, a lot faster than Makoto. There, here we go. Get ready. 155. Quick. Delayed Super 2. Travels really fucking fast. EX Super over the finish line. 276. Delayed Dudley Super 2. Not very fast. 297. Maybe just 4 dashes, I think. $258. $339, pretty slow. Expected. That one was pretty weird. 340. It's air dashes, maybe? Probably 4 dashes. Oh, dives, of all things. 308, pretty slow. Q. Partition dash punch. Oh, the car is supered across the finish line. That's cute. Gil. All 4 dashes, 236, pretty fast. So Yang was fastest, then Yun, then Gil, then Urian, then Ken, then Ibuki, then Remy, then Alex, then Makoto, then Oro, then Sean and Elena who tied, then Dudley, then Akuma, then 12, then Q, then Hugo, Necro, and Ryu dead last. Oh, Chun-Li and Oro tied in 10th. Is there more to this? I don't remember. Oh, it's showing how they did it. Really bizarre. Yun was a bunch of EX dash punches, then an EX shoulder. He was just after Makoto. Using Super 2 for all the meter. That's a cute video. Hold on for a second. Should I play something on Game Boy? Should I find my Fire Emblem Awakening ROM? Crystal Cube 99's fucking Urian Task is now up to 30k views. I am a Game Boy. I've got a list of games I've been meaning to play. I guess I could just open it and look at them. Then we would know. Ace Attorney 2. Dragon Quest 11. Deltarune. Whoa. Ape Escape. Thousand Year Door. Triple Deluxe. Ooh. Awakening. These are all games I've been meaning to play. I guess I'll look at this vid really fast. Ooh. That's a mystery. I'm guessing he just stored it for the maximum possible amount of time you can store it. Like he did all of his downcharging during the headbutt. I know I don't have it on stream right now, but bear with me. Yeah, I think he's just storing it the maximum possible amount of time he can. He's using, okay, that one's... that was some sick storage. They're all being stored for about the max amount of time. He's charging all the time he's doing his super jump with Alex, and then that neutral you see there is like the time where he's holding it. This is like a demonstration of how long the partition is at optimal like length of time. Very impressive. I guess I could start Ace Attorney too. I don't really want to. I could play another character of MapleStory. Want to see me hit level 70 in OG MapleStory? 60 now, I think, is their job. Wow, that was like almost a joke. Let me look at Awakening, because I have that ROM somewhere just chilling. And I've never tried Citra. I don't even know how Citra works. Backup disk. Where's my ROMs at? There they are. What the fuck is it? Whoa, it's Ultimate NES Remix. Planet Robot, Fire Emblem Awakening. This is the .cia. I might need the actual ROM. The .cia is like how you install it. I'm gonna check if Citra can play .cias. Oh, okay, in that case, we're probably good. Pokemon X and Y is fully working. I'm gonna give that a cool. I think I've already downloaded Citra. I have. I might have then, therefore, already installed it. But I don't see it. What is this? What is this little video? 20, 30 views? 2 likes? Where'd you dig this out? Ooh, very cute. I've seen that before. Not new to me. That doesn't work on all characters if memory serves. I only saw one cheap Makoto trick. Where are the others? I know it's black screen, chill. Did you upload these? Are these you? Ooh, very tricky. What about the stand cheap trick? Ooh, the double cross up dash punch. Hayate. That's cool. Yes, I know the stand is named after the band. Alright, timeout. I've never used Citra in my life. Let me set up my controls anyway. ZL and ZR. I don't feel like the 3DS has those. Uh-oh, the home button. Circle mod. Damn, I didn't know that about the new 3DS. C-stick. New 3DS has that too. I'm scared. I'm not gonna bother mapping the circle mod because I don't know if it would do. I didn't. No, I didn't. I didn't never play Heritage to the Future. Please hold. I'm installing Fire Emblem Awakening onto my fucking Citra Nightly. This is weird. This is different from every other emulator I've ever done. It was very fast though, I think. I think it was fast. Okay, I installed the CIA and then now what? How do I open it? It's not on my list. This might be one of the greatest mysteries of our time. Let me try installing a different game. I'm doing Triple Deluxe. Actually, I'm doing Robobot. Visual Boy Advance truly is the greatest emulator. Pokemon Y? Sonic Generations? Link Between Worlds? NES Remix is so small, and yet I'm still surprised it's as big as it is. This is weird, I don't know how this works. And it shit itself. I'll get this shit working. Yep, this is Citra. CXI. I remember Motion Joy. Now the firmware has just been dumped or whatever for the PS3 controllers, so now it's a lot easier. Everyone chill. Ooh. I didn't do anything super cringe in high school that I can remember, but I did something pretty cringe in middle school. I put a note in a girl's locker. And I'd like never really talked to the girl before. Now when I think about that, it's like, goddamn, why didn't I just say hi? What's kind of funny though is I didn't put my name on the note. But like, that's not something I didn't. Okay, I might have told the story of the most cringe thing I saw. I just forgot to put my name on it. The most cringe thing I ever saw was a girl smashing a light on the ceiling while swinging around a stick that she. Basically, we were in the fucking Japanese room for the fucking people taking Japanese in high school. I took it. Um, uh, and we were like there during lunch, and it's normally shut during lunch, but the teacher was there, and she doesn't like having the students in there while lunch is happening, or like, while she's not there. So she was there, and it was like four people that she's with a lot, and counting me and counting this girl and like a couple other people. And it was like we were preparing for like the Japanese field day with the exchange students coming over. And she had us get some flagpoles. We were allowed to eat in there without her, and then she had us get some flagpoles and take them down to uh, the the field when we were done eating. And she was like, "I'm trusting you not to like do anything stupid or anything like that." She's a fucking old Asian woman. And one of the girls, who was like a fat fucking piggy girl, kind of pig human pig, um, took one of the. She was like the fucking biggest weeb I've ever met in my life. She took one of the flagpoles, and as soon as we left the room, like the nanosecond we left the room, uh, she like held up the fucking the flagpole, and she said, "It's been a long time since I've wielded a bow staff." And then she like started to spin it, and she immediately hit the light above her. It's like fucking long fluorescent tube lights. It didn't break, but it made like a hell of a noise and like pushed up. And then she like bent double laughing. Like it was the funniest thing that ever happened to her. I didn't bully anyone in school. Everyone just hold on. What the fuck? You need to have the game? You have to dump it from your 3DS? This doesn't seem right. The tutorial ends with, you can now install the update or DLC to Citra's emulated SD system NAND. I'm not installing anything. I should have like figured this out beforehand. This really is too high IQ for me. That's the worst part. Not recently. Maybe it's because I have the version with the DLC on it that makes it mad. Oh, I might have only had. You might need the DLC and the fucking base game. That could be my issue. I thought I just had the DLC on it. I don't know, it's just the one I had. But I think I had another one that was the base game that I just didn't have in the folder. Damn, it's so much bigger. The DLC is teeny tiny. Damn. Bullying someone because they spell their name differently? Some of them did, some of them didn't. Give me a sec, because I haven't tried installing the main game yet. Because the DLC was the one that didn't. I don't like this trend of like giving girls normal names and spelling them weird though. I gotta admit, but it's not like the girl's fault, it's like the parents' fault. Why would you do that to your kid? Alright, now I've got a giant .cia file. Damn, you guys are weird. Does one of you want to be my GF? Ha ha. Alright. Now I've got a really fucking big game. Whoa. There's no winning. It literally told me it's like it must be decrypted. Let me just find a decrypted ROM of the full thing. This is probably gonna be like another gig download. The one I found was like not. Yeah, watch my Shiva. One of the FF one of the Final Fantasy games on PS1 had a naked Shiva. I don't think they all did, but definitely one of them did. You think it'd be one of the earlier ones because they'd get complaints. Have you guys ever gone on Reddit and gone on creepy PMs? That like convinced me harder than anything else in the entire world that being a woman probably sucks. I've never gotten a dick pic, but like thinking about it, like there's literally nothing you can even say to getting a dick pic. I've never even seen a woman. I've only read about them. Alright, I guess I'll go on YouTube since this shit is apparently downloading. Time out while I find an extremely dank video to put on. I only do the dankest. A maple video. Put on one of my own maple videos. When you go to your watch later playlist and there's a deleted video on there and it's like, what was that? What was that? We'll never know. Look. It's Daigo versus Infiltration. Remember this? It was an exhibition. First of 10. This is like, they knew they were going to have an exhibition together for a while, and they both studied the matchup meticulously. But the thing about Daigo is when he studies a matchup meticulously, crazy weird shit happens. Daigo is the single scariest customer in the entire FGC when it comes to studying matchups. I think the common perception at the time of this recording was that Akuma was good against Ryu. This is, I think, AE 2012, and not Ultra. This is the first of 10. There was another one with Zhen. Daigo, there was two of them. And Daigo versus Shen, Daigo won 10-0, I think. Yeah, he gave an interview that was that. He's like, Ryu can't hang in damage until you introduce EX Fireball. Nice. For the Zhen one, he gave an interview as well, and it was pretty interesting. He talked about how he would intentionally eat he would intentionally eat low strong hands in situations where there would be no big conversion available to get Shen to burn 2 bars on the FADC completions to prevent Zhen from ever having super. He thought that Zhen was better off never doing FADCs and always doing super confirms. But he thought that Zhen would still occasionally do the FADCs, so he's like, if I keep Zhen doing the FADCs, if I tactically get hit at these times but never get hit at these times, I'll like win in neutral enough and he won't have enough burst damage to like keep up. That was the strat going in, and he won 10-0. There aren't enough first to 10s to really say. These are the only 2 first to 10s in that little sequence. That's pretty low, but it should still work. Sometimes characters just get hit by it, and sometimes they start kind of bouncing out of it. That was the latter, but he still got hit by the whole thing. Well, he made it work. It's hard to argue with the results. It sounds pretty wild. He finds those light DP so easily. That was pretty easy. I could have maybe gotten that one myself. But to be in that situation is the important thing. Chased him down. Ryu is not very good at... That was a nice FADC. Ryu is not very good at chasing teleports. He can chase them with Super or Ultra if he has either of those very easily. But apart from that, he can chase them with an EX Fireball without too much difficulty. But that won't always be there in time unless you're really fast. He can chase them with a Tatsu, but that one's kind of iffy. It depends on which direction they Tatsu. You have to like do the Tatsu really early to have it actually chase down a teleport. And if they teleport through you, you might end up Tatsuing in the wrong direction. So like it works, but it's like almost a mix-up. It depends on position. It's easier if they're teleporting out of the corner because they won't go as far away. If they're teleporting through you. Obese people are a different kind of cute. I bet you wouldn't want to have sex with an obese animal either. Just like you wouldn't want to have sex with an obese person. Obese isn't sexy, it's just cute. Maybe if it's a human, you're like, oh, what a lost opportunity. Nice link. It's like, wow, this girl's cute, but I could also want to fuck her if she was skinnier. I don't know, I'm just making shit up. Daigo definitely does throw a lot of EX fireballs. Really nice quality of life on that close medium kick in Omega. I think kittens are the cutest cat. I like them to be small, with thin, tiny tails. I think that's what makes a cat very cute. It's a very thin tail. Yes, I did. I was in there, making comments. I work at 8 p.m. tonight. And it's 5 a.m. right now. I got like a whole day basically before I have to work. I haven't had any shifts at the same time as my racist coworker recently. It's been nice. Is this a fat cat? Oh no. That is a cute title. I don't understand what everyone's issue is with like online anything. I didn't see that. Was that part of the fucking tournament? I didn't have sound on for a lot of it because I was like listening to other shit. But I was in there fucking posting shit. Oh, this is so close. Those are scary fireballs to throw. Daigo called one of them out. Infiltration through one too many. In game like that is tense as hell. That was a really nice focus. I mean, it's always understood that net play's a concession. No one out there is saying net play is better than anything else. I don't think. Net play is just what allows you to play fucking wealth of different people in the world. But sometimes the detriment of the speed of gameplay. I dropped the sweep link at the end. Oh, come on, Daigo. Light DP, heavy DP. Ah, I learned that from him. He didn't even do it there. Yeah, if you want to play MVC 1 now. If you want to play Heritage of the Future now. Hell, if you want to play Third Strike now. Who the fuck are you going to play Third Strike in person against? I live like fucking 10 feet from Esports Arena Santa Ana. It's like a 20-minute drive for me to get there. I showed up and there was no fucking Third Strike. On like week 9 of Third Strike 30th anniversary coming out. Can't find someone to play fucking Third Strike it's a good game against. If it wasn't for net play, I never would have gotten good at Third Strike. Oh, he went for the cross up Daltu setup. If you're perfect with the timing on that, you can catch the force stand frame. But it's always kind of awkward because they might not. You might not catch it. Far for your Saint-Tier. That didn't cancel in AE 2012. Not that you would cancel it when using it as an ATR anyway. Maybe you'd cancel it into Fireball, but it wouldn't be a combo. Very nice. That's only like +4, I think. Hard DP, FADC. It's kind of hard to get a combo out of that. Ryu's forward dash, it's fine, but it's weird how different his Fireball FADC combos are from like Evil Ryu and Akuma. And most characters, actually. Ooh. He does Fireball FADC even if he's pretty close, and he can only barely link a fucking low forward. The pushback from his Fireballs plus the smallness of the dash just means he like ends up being really far out. So to get a really beefy FADC combo, you have to do it from close forward. That's one of the really big differences between Ryu and Evil Ryu. It's the difference in low forward Fireball FADC. That's probably the single biggest difference between them. Ryu gets not that much. Evil Ryu gets like a fat fucking combo. It's a situation that happens so often for both of them. A little bit more often for regular Ryu. Is that a bad coughing fit? I hated SF4 the first time I played it. I hated it for the first year that it was out. Isn't that funny to think about now? In every way it was different from Third Strike. I liked it less. I think being good at a fighting game is a big part of liking it. I was good at Third Strike and I wasn't good at 4. And then when I got good at 4, I liked it a lot more. When I got good at 5, I liked it a lot more. Ah! Daigo's 5 wins in a row right now, by the way. Against fucking Infiltration, who was like, I think he'd freshly won an Evo. He was tearing it down against every single player in like 2012 and 2013. I think Infiltration was at Vanilla Evo as a top 8. I don't remember who Ivy was or not. There were like some surprising names there. Top 8 of like Evo 2009. PR Balrog was there, but his name wasn't PR Balrog. There is no input leniency in 4. Or there is for reversals. Only for special moves and only as reversals. I feel like it doesn't hurt the game in any way. All it does is make some punishes more consistent. And make it so you never ever fuck up Wake Up Ultra or something like that. Oh, that's a weird play. That works on the ground, but... I don't know. It's not like fucking reversal parry was hard to time. In a game without parry, having your only reversal option tied to a 1-frame window is pretty awful. The SRK shortcuts literally, like, how are they dumb? I hear that one a lot and I don't understand it. They're dumb if you accidentally get Shoryukens, but it's pretty easy to never accidentally get Shoryukens. And what they let you do is they let you do Shoryukens from a full crouch, which is really nice. That's not Street Fighter 4. That's Street Fighter 3. That Street Fighter 3 shortcut spoiled you. Street Fighter 3 allows you to have a super without the final. The Shoryuken, both the Shoryuken and the super motions of Street Fighter 3 are weird. If you do down forward, down forward in Street Fighter 4, it will never ever give you a super, and you can mash that motion without getting a super. That motion didn't exist in Street Fighter 3, but there was a similar, more awkward one. Street Fighter 4 made it way easier to do crouching normals into Shoryuken motions, which I really appreciate because that's something that should be really easy. I call stuff I dislike gay all the time. Try and stop me. I like acknowledge that it's an offensive word, but also it's a really funny word. Like retard. Sometimes you just really want that kind of word, you know? It's like if it didn't have that effect, then it wouldn't like... It would stop having that effect if it stopped being offensive. I still get accidental supers in SF5, so I don't know what to say. But I don't crouch DP that much. I always forget. Which one is hyper fighting? Is that Turbo? Whenever people use like the fucking little subtitle names, I always forget which ones are which. World Warrior, Championship Edition, Hyper Fighting, Super, and then Super Turbo. I forget what the subtitle was for Super Turbo. I think Super didn't have a subtitle. The new Challengers was Super. And then Super Turbo was... What the fuck was Super Turbo? Yeah, SF2 had... There's like little appeals to all those SF2 versions. The really early ones are strange. Championship Edition was before they decided that all characters had like 3 punches and 3 kicks. Grandmaster Challenge. That sounds right. But that might be the Japanese one. Probably like 5 supers. ROP. Maybe a little more. Chun-Li's Vegas. Dalsim, Ryu. Um, those are the most OP ones. Balrog. Did I say Balrog? Most supers are like an afterthought. But the good characters often have good supers. I think supers have dumb risk reward. So you won't get an argument from me. ST supers have dumb risk reward. Most of them are safe. And it's really stupid for the ones that are unsafe. It's like, wow, this is like fucking borderline unusable. Honda's is really notable in that way. Honda's is already hard to land. You can't do special into super in Street Fighter 2. Honda's is already hard to land, but oftentimes you'll get the first hit of Honda Super to hit, and then the second hit won't be a combo. And for certain characters, you could literally just like eat the first hit of Honda Super and then DP him out of the second hit. And you like do as much damage as Honda did. It's like, wow. Sagat never even has a super. I think Sagat super is supposed to be okay, but like everyone picks old Sagat, so it doesn't matter. It's a little bit the same with Ken. A lot of people pick old Ken, especially nowadays. But Ken super is unsafe, I think. Could this be infiltration winning? Honda's like middle of the pack. He loses really badly to all the high tiers and wins pretty well against all the low tiers. So that's the other match that infiltration wins. He wins 2 matches. It ends up being 10-2. It's only Daigo winning from here on out. The quick, it's not as easy as this, but it's almost as easy as this. The quick reference to whether Honda is good in a matchup is whether the opponent has a fireball. Even if it's not a super great fireball like Chun-Li's or Ken's, it like really fucks up Honda's ability to move and approach. While characters like fucking old Sagat will just fuck him up. Or Ryu. But then characters who don't have a fireball like can't counter poke. They can't like prevent Honda's approach very well. They can't counter poke Kane's very well. He can meet them pretty well on the ground or in the air with his fucking long ass normals. And he's got a command grab on top of that. And it's a good command grab, and command grabs are really good in fucking ST. Super Yun. I mean, a lot of Yun's problems have been relatively consistent through all 3 versions. But that was part of it. EX Dash Punch was, I think it was +1, and it comboed into Ultra on hit. It always worked instead of only working on, I think, one specific character nowadays. There were a lot of other things. He had cross-up jump hard kick. They nerfed the fuck out of that cross-up hitbox later on. He had like a lot of little buffs. I mean, a little nerfs when they finally nerfed him for AE 2012. There were like a shit ton of things that got worse that were like... There was no like big nerf. There was like everything got a bit worse. His like command grab got more recovery, and then I think for a while it was kind of punishable. I don't remember if that stayed. I think it didn't, right? Palm hitbox was stupid. That was one of the biggest things about AE Yun. Is the palm, even if you hit Yun, the palm hitbox would stay on the screen like a projectile. So like even after hitting, like normally in Street Fighter, if you hit the opponent, whatever hitboxes they have are cancelled, unless it's a fireball. But Yun, even after you hit him, like the frame after you hit him, even if you hit him with like a, even if you did like a reversal hard DP with a Shoto against Yun doing palm, you would hit Yun out of his palm, and then the palm would hit you. And it was level 3 focus backdash palm would give you a palm that could then, it would hit meaty, and then you could combo that into EX palm, I think. So he had like a focus backdash combo that did a fuck ton of damage. It did like 1 bar, 400 damage, or something like that. Or it was after any focus attack. It was like focus backdash, hard palm, EX palm. It was something like that. I don't remember how it worked. Hard to say whether they'd shit on Third Strike Chun, but they were that good. Sean was pretty good. He was like similar to Third Strike Ken with fewer super setups but higher damage. And he built meter a lot faster because of this weird Kara. He could Kara like fierce into towards fierce or whatever. Strong into fierce. I don't remember what it was. Strong into back fierce. But he built, he had a normal he could whiff with a Kara that would build double meter. So he would literally build meter twice as fast as other characters when whiffing normals. And it whiffed fast anyway, so it was already like Chun-Li back fierce. But imagine if Chun-Li back fierce was twice as fast. 12's TC was not as I mean 12. Sean's TC was not as good as Ken's though. I mean Third Strike Ken is not so different from Second Impact Ken. And 2i Sean was better than Third Strike Ken. I mean Second Impact Ken. Ken didn't change very much in any version of SF3. He had his Shippu links like from the beginning. You guys want some fucked up shit? Oof. I think nowadays Akuma still do that, but they get the fireball cancel so that you recover into a fireball. Yeah, leap attack was way better. It's in earlier games than Third Strike. Third Strike, it's like a fucking limp dick version of what it used to be. T-Bar Denshin utterly invalidates Super 1 for Ryu. Ryu has good balance between his supers. Not great, but still probably the best in the game. Possible exception, Elena. Ugh. He dropped the cancel. Maybe got the chain on accent. Low jab into low short is a 2-frame link, I think. Low short is a 4-frame normal for Ryu. Low jab is +5. Because it's a 1-frame link into sweep, which is 5. Pretty much everyone hated Third Strike when it came out. I mean, fuck, Street Fighter 3, New Generation. Pretty much everyone hated New Generation when it came out. It's wildly unpopular. Everyone's like, wow, a bunch of characters I don't care about and it feels worse. It's incredible the amount it changed in its versions. You can find a bunch of fucking magazines and shit that's like Third Strike. God damn it, I keep saying it. Street Fighter 3 blunder of the fucking blunder of the decade. Shit like that. Cool, low forward. Low profile the fireball. My download's long done, but I just kind of feel like sticking around now. We got 5 minutes left. How are you gonna win 10-2 against Infiltration? Very cool little juggle. Oh no! People were definitely unhappy with it. I couldn't tell you about its sales, but people were definitely unhappy. Second Impact and Third Strike were mostly ignored when they came out. Most people didn't really care whether they did well or not. There wasn't significant interest in uh, Third Strike until the Daigo parry. It was usually regarded as like a side game for like much more interesting games like Marvel or Alpha or Vampire. Oh my god. Ooh, that was cool. That moment basically created fighting games. Yeah, Third Strike was a lot more popular in. You shouldn't. I don't know about especially in Japan. More like only in Japan. There were people who played Third Strike even in America. It was definitely seen as better than the previous games, but most people just didn't care that much. Um, but Japan it had a scene that was alive. Again, it was seen as not like a super. It wasn't even in Japan. It wasn't as big as Alpha, which came out. Alpha 3 came out around the same time. I think they're both 1999 games. Wake Up Super. That's maybe true. I could give it top four. They didn't play Marvel very much in Japan, but they definitely played Vampire and Alpha for their 2D fighting games. And then I'm sure there's like, Tekken. Street Fighter 2 was played, of course, even up until that point. Yeah, GG as well. It was like a sleeper. It snuck in. I mean, obviously it has like, a big perception of being a Street Fighter title. But it was a game where every year it got bigger instead of every year it got worse, so that could be true. Usually the interest wanes, but Third Strike, they found depth. Kind of Marvel 2 did that same thing. And Melee as well, I suppose. Melee was big from the get-go. But like, uh, a lot of fighting games have like, oh, it's big right when it comes out, and then it kind of disappears off. But Third Strike, it was like, oh, this is like something people were writing off, and then slowly it was like, oh shit, this is a lot deeper. People who weren't interested in Third Strike at the beginning all of a sudden see like Yun, and it's like, whoa, this is a lot different from Chun-Li. See Dudley.